Hi, I'm Shivam.
Hi, I'm Izzy.
And this is PhoenixChat.
Where one of us can read.
Which one?
You find out.
Hi, and welcome back to another episode of PhoenixChat. Today we're going to be talking a bit more about that little cliffhanger we left off with last time, as at the end of the holiday party where everything was fun and nice and cool, turns out Boondock Strings had this weird fire creature inside of it. And so Juliet took the strings to the church to try to see if she could do anything about that, or like fucking exorcise it or something. Essen created a holy knife and they managed to cut the strings. But as they cut the strings turned into like this fiery creature that talked to Boondock, as they said. Soon I will get my chance to talk to you, just as I once talked to your father.
Dun,
and
dun.
Yeah, we get to start off at the end of that scene where just picking up right where we left off. Boondock is not mentally doing so great hearing that. And as I believe Juliet decided to go talk to Boondock about what the fuck just happened.
Yeah. So, well, for once, she was just like, Juliet is a very, I'd like to say, straightforward person, and she drinks, and for the reason she drinks is because she doesn't want to remember her past. Like, she wants to leave all of the bad shit behind her because she doesn't want to dwell on it too long, because it'll just, depress her even more. So she's always been the person to, like, let's just look ahead because, we can't fucking change anything now. And basically she's like, hey, I know this is a lot right now, but, like, we shouldn't focus on this at the moment. I know this is really scary and stuff, but there's really nothing we can do or nothing we can learn right now. So, how about tomorrow, fresh start, we start doing some research as to, like, who that was, why they did this to you, like, what significance does it have to your dad's guntar, and figure it out from there. Because, Juliet sometimes can have good advice for once, like, haha.
Yeah, and, well, at least that's a pretty reasonable answer for Boondock, who's unfortunately pretty used to dealing with crises, so he does accept that as face value, but, he is still worried, about something else.
Any sane person would be.
Yeah, but he's also worried about, something else, as you guys, talked a little bit more, and you say there's still something, like, up with Boondock, because he's kind of fidgety and nervous, and he eventually just comes right out and says it, as Juliet just kind of pesters him about it, as Boondock says, like, well, I'm just kind of worried about Essen specifically, because he was apparently just, like, buddies and super chummy about Minerva and spoke, like, the world of her in the meeting, until it was explained that she was an executioner. And all of a sudden, Essen immediately changed his tune and said, like, anyone who is an executioner like that, well, they're just, like, a horrible person, and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Juliet was, I think, like, confused at first about that, but then Boondock explained, back in Hope's Landing, he also was an executioner, so that kind of, the implications of that unsettle him.
Yeah.
And then he also goes on to say that's a conversation with Sprout, where Sprout kind of said, like, well, maybe he executed, like, innocent people and stuff like that, and Boondock just kind of looks at Juliet like, can we disprove that right now with the information we're given? As I think you as Juliet also realized, not currently, no, we can't. Ugh.
Yeah.
You want to explain?
Yeah. I don't want to go too much into this because, like, I want us to discuss this in the second part of this podcast. But basically, they were like, okay, how about we decide to interrogate him a little bit, and if he doesn't say anything, by the time we get to the library, we investigate him, like, without, you know, asking and stuff. We just, like, you know, get our own sources. And when Juliet fucking said interrogate him, Boondock started to raise his guntar, and she's like, no, let's do this the Juliet way. And he continues to raise his guntar.
Yeah, no. And my favorite part was that, like, you continued and just said, like, okay, and if he doesn't say anything, and then Boondock immediately chimes in, we kill him. And then Juliet says, yeah, wait, no, we can't kill him.
We can't kill him.
Cass has dibs.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, man. Yeah. Meanwhile, Essen's player just quietly screaming in the corner.
Oopsie.
Oh, man. But, yeah, you guys load up the cart, and you guys get ready to leave Soliana. Yeah, and Sprout, Tansy, and Mira and the Snabies were there to see you off.
Snabies.
Yeah, Sprout went up to Boondock and said that he opened the locket, and he explained that it was horrifying, but he loves it, as inside the locket was Boondock's missing tooth, as Boondock just gives a goofy grin and says, that's 100% bona fide Boondock. Oh, that was one of my favorite lines from this fucking campaign. Sprout and Boondock laugh and share like a quick peck, as Tansy also then says goodbye to Morgan. Morgan does like a Chad move, and I think like does like she like swings Tansy into like a dip for like the kiss. He's learned well from Essen. Oh man. And Mira then also showed you the Snabies, and said like, yeah, when all of this settles down, she'd be glad to have Juliet and Essen babysit. I think like Mira also like handed you the Snabies too, so you could say bye, and she said like to her kids, okay, so hi to Auntie Juliet.
Yes, and I am accepted now into the Snabies lives, and I am going to recreate another generation of Chaos Gremlins. Thank you. Okay.
Oh man. By the way, you did scare me at the end there, because like, right at the end, like I was saying, like, okay, so you hand like the babies back, right? And then you said, Do
I hand these babies back? What a good question.
Like, Juliet, please.
Another federal crime under the belt.
Do not commit kidnapping. Yeah. And then, like, so I'm just like, okay, but jokes aside, you're handing them back. And then you said, hold on, let me DM you something. And I have never been more scared in my life. But you can go ahead and explain what you said in the DMs.
Basically what I said was, I'm gonna whisper down to the Snabies, be like, alright, when I get back, I'm going to teach you how to raise absolute hell. And then I handed them back to her.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines.
Oh, man. Yes, it was very cute, and you guys started making your way out of Soliana, going on the fucking launch pad as you went down towards the ground. Yeah, Juliet fucking screaming the entire way. Oh, man.
Crying.
Yeah, and you guys continued along the road for a little bit, just peacefully making the journey. And I think Juliet started the conversation between Boondock and Essen, if you want to explain.
Yeah, so basically, as we're heading out, and she's like, hey, let's have a conversation! Even though conversation's not my strong suit. I like to just fight things and drink. It's fine. Basically, I started this conversation, and, like, that was it. I didn't end it. I didn't talk at all. They just did it, and I was like, alright, cool. I didn't want to be involved anyway. So basically, she was like, hey, why don't we talk, and, like, Essen, can we not insult people's professions when we talk? And he's like, what the fuck do you mean? And she's like, well, look, you look down on executioners, that's technically what Boondock is. And Essen's like, Boondock's not an executioner. They went through a judge and jury process, and an executioner kills people because they were told to. And, basically, Essen killed people from the age of 15 for crimes like, a maid not bowing to her master, stupid bullshit that involved, like, people being killed at the wrong place, wrong time, the whole 9 yards, like, stupid shit. Essen explains the last time he did this, a god faced him down, and that was the moment Essen truly realized that he fucked up so badly that nothing was going to make this right. And then Boondock, getting frustrated at this point, was like, dude, you were 15. Boondock was so fucking lucky that at least Pa raised him to be good and, like, taught him right from wrong. Like, so he's just like, you can't be so hard on yourself. You were a kid and you were being told what to do from, like, a fucking, like, brainwashed standpoint. So, like, basically, during this whole argument, they started getting more heated and more arguing and shit. And so during this, Hops gets frustrated and heads to the top of the cart with Morgan, explains that they're not being adults because they're arguing and hurting each other. Which, fucking woke Hops, my guy. Woke Hops. We stand here.
Yeah. Oh, man.
I think eventually I also joined them. I'm like, can I please not be an adult too?
Yeah, no, and Hops refused to let you on top of that, like...
No, she said eventually, yeah.
But yeah, no, like, Hops even straight up just said, like, yeah, no, because, like, you guys can talk without, like, hurting each other and stuff like that. Like, yeah, it's first time that Hops is becoming a little bit disillusioned with the fact and realizing, like, maybe the adults in her life don't exactly know everything, that she thinks they do. And she's starting to, like, really start to question things more, which, hoo boy, have fun with that, you guys. Oh, man.
Crying.
But, it was a long scene with, like, Essen and Boondock, but, like, yeah, with Essen just, like, breaking down during, like, all of this, just full-on crying as he kind of realizes all of that, and, like, Boondock just mentions, too, like, all of that, and then at the end, he even says, like, like, I'm glad I went out on this journey, and just so all of you know, like, I'd lay down my life for any single one of you here, and I just want you all to know that. Yeah, no, so, yeah. Essen's now earned Boondock's trust, and that means Boondock will now lay their life for them. There's no limit to the things Boondock will do to help everyone in the party now, as it's resolved a good bit better, which is nice.
Okay. Anyway, so night falls, we all sleep, kinda. We do watches, the whole 9 yards.
Yes.
Boondock dreams, not about yeehaw twiddly twang songs for once.
Yeah. And he wakes up in this unfamiliar place. It's like a jazz parlor kind of deal, as Boondock now realizes. Don't call my references. As he realizes he's now wearing a suit in front of a bar. And on the opposite side of a bar, there's a man with, like, the head of a lion, just big and, like, burly looking. But the lion's, like, fur is all red. And he's currently just, like, polishing a glass as he looks at Boondock. As I believe Boondock just immediately, like, took a chair and, like, raised it up and just immediately said, like, who the fuck are you? As the lion man in red says that his name is Yaldabaoth. And Yaldabaoth goes on to explain that he was the creature that was in the devil's hand and has been ever so eager to meet Boondock. Especially after they were close with their father, Bo. And Boondock's real confused about that and asks, like, how the hell they knew Bo. As Yaldabaoth explains that he helped keep Boondock's father alive, and through him he helped keep the town of Hope's Landing safe. And so, like, he explains that he was a devil, and Bo signed a pact with him in order to do that. And now he's looking to also make a pact with Boondock. Very specifically, he wants to make sure that Legion is destroyed similarly to Boondock. because of course, like, Legion disrupts this like natural balance, and like, if things progress, Hell's also going to be destroyed. So it's a win-win situation, because Yaldabaoth can offer Boondock some of his power, and Boondock can of course use that power to be better equipped to fight Legion. Yeah, and so Boondock is still like extremely suspicious of this, but Yaldabaoth says that he can be an extremely useful ally, as he can provide Boondock with more information about things that he might not know about. For example, during his watch tonight, 3 bounty hunters are going to come, looking to kill the party and kidnap a Kitsune. And Boondock's extremely suspicious about this, but the devil offers him a trial period where Boondock can just use these powers without having to commit to the deal quite yet. And the devil insists that as soon as he takes this trial period, he's going to be able to take on the bounty hunters himself and keep his friends safe without even needing to wake them up. And he even goes on to say, like, and I'm certain in time you'll be able to see that my pact is very powerful and a very useful tool, and you'll eventually come around to signing it. As Boondock once again just takes the chair and like wields it, and he just says, like, okay, but right now it's only for the trial period. As Yaldabaoth nods and says, okay then, but I certainly hope that the next time we'll meet will be because you want to come here of your own accord. And Boondock nods and then asks how he can get out of here, as Yaldabaoth snaps his fingers, and Boondock wakes up in a cold sweat as Hops just kind of pokes him awake for his watch.
Sus.
Yes, but Boondock's the only person on watch, and he's just sitting there just playing his twiddly twang songs. Just sitting there looking around, and as he kind of looks around, he does hear rustling. And on the other night, he might dismiss this, but given that dream that's super duper weird, he decides to check it out. And as the devil foretold, he found 3 bounty hunters that tried to come out and try to attack the party. As Boondock points the guntar at them and asks who the hell they are, they rushed up and tried to start attacking Boondock. Boondock is of course extremely slow with a dex of like -1, I believe. So one of the bandits or one of the bounty hunters is about to like run up and stab Boondock, when all of a sudden Boondock feels this like familiar feeling, as he can use his Hellwalker form without needing to be under half health. And I literally started playing like Doom music as Boondock just starts ripping and tearing at these bounty hunters, easily able to use his new powers to just like tear these bounty hunters apart. And as he's just like standing over the last one, he just fucking cocks the shotgun before he says just like, now I asked, who are you and what the hell are you doing here? And as the bounty hunter spits at him, Boondock executes the last one, as the rest of the party just wakes up extremely concerned.
Wow, there's charred bodies. What the fuck happened? I don't know.
Yep. Yeah, if you want to explain.
So we all get up and we're like, whoa, what is happening? And like, he's like, oh, I don't know. They were just there and I kicked their ass. No worries. I did it myself. And we're like, wait, what the fuck? How do you take care of 3 fucking bandits on your own without waking us up? That's insane. Essen also very sus. Very, very nervous. And so, basically, Boondock kind of started to explain that he had a devil in his head. Just offhand, like, very nonchalant. Like, yeah, this guy kind of, like, let me have a trial period, and he said he was going to take care of the rest of them. And, like, Juliet fucking snapped. She was like, absolutely not. Do not do this again. Do not make any fucking, deals with him. Devils twist your words. They are not to be trusted. Like, it was bad. Like, and while she was saying this, I think, yeah, it was during so while all the bodies were on fire and, you know, the smoke and stuff, a voice and a face appeared in the fire. Then it came up and said, hey, Boondock, you did wonderful in your part, and now it's time for my part. And then the smoke, like, disappears and, like, assumes that he went to go take care of the rest of the bandits. And all of us were like, ah! No thanks. Because he probably, like, didn't he speak in Abyssal too?
Yeah, no, but Essen did understand that. I think Essen actually very specifically was just like, okay, Boondock, are you absolutely certain that you haven't agreed to any sort of deal with this creature? As Boondock just kind of shrugs and says, I'm fairly certain I haven't, as Essen also panics, just like, please, for the level, like, you cannot do this, like, period. This is only going to end up badly for you, and like any price that they ask for, it is so much worse than it seems. Which Boondock just kind of like nervously like nods along, still a stoic expression on his face, but like clearly understanding at least a little bit, like, okay, just need to be careful about this, but he thinks like I can still do this though, like it should be fine. You guys checked around on the bodies, and on one of the bodies there's a note in Thieves' Cant, and as Juliet reads it, it's an assassination request on the rest of the party and a kidnap request for a kitsune. And I had you guys, I think, roll like intelligence or something like that, as you guys now figured out. Looks like Legion's not just going, like, previously she specifically said that she was trying to hurt the guilds, and, like, the fact that you guys were there was all just, like, incidental. It was very convenient for her to find, like, envoys of, like, every single guild, because, like, now she has the perfect audience to report back to them. But now she's not going to just hurt the guilds. Now she's trying to kill you guys as a party.
Yeah. To be honest, when you first told us this, I thought it was my mom, and I'm like, man, what a bitch. Really? After all this time, now you want me? And I was like, oh, it's Lee. That makes sense. Izzy has a -2 int, and then Julia has a +3 int for some reason.
Oh, man. Oh, God. But, yeah, the next morning turns around as Julia and Essen... Oh, yeah, Julia and Essen have a watch. Last, and then I believe also Essen explains a little bit more about his ex, if you remember, or do you want me to explain?
Basically what I can remember, you can probably chime in on this too, because, like, I can remember some of it. Essen was explaining, like, hey, because, like, he could tell that Julia is kind of, like, Julia and Boondock are still kind of sus, because he hasn't really told us much about his backstory, like, where he comes from, like, what, other than him being an executioner, like, that was it. He was like, when I was living in Lenore, I had a friend. Excuse me, sorry. I had a friend who was more than a friend, really. I don't know, I think he described it as partners or lovers or something like that. And he was like, I was basically gaslighted that entire time. Like, I felt like, he did nothing. He watched while I don't know if it's a he. I think it's a he, but I'm just gonna say he. I was not sure.
Yeah. And I think very specifically it was Essen was only kept around by his partner because, like, he was useful to be able to take the fall. And Essen's just so uncertain, like, that's basically all the relationship was, that Essen was just a useful pawn to his partner. And that's kind of, like, one of the biggest reasons they end up, like, doing what they did.
And at that point, Juliet was like, alright, we're gonna go kick his ass. Right fucking now.
Oh, man.
And he's like, wait, we can't just, like, leave right now. And she's like, oh, too bad.
But you guys decided not to leave right now, but I think you at least made a promise that, like, you know, if we ever went back there, like, you'd fucking kick his ass.
Yeah. Which, I still hold this promise.
Absolutely. Oh, man. But with that last watch, and thankfully no more bandits appearing, the next morning happens, as Juliet does an oopsie.
When don't I do an oopsie, to be honest here? Like,
this is a pretty big oopsie. Go for it, though.
Anyway, so the next morning, Juliet turns right the fuck around, by the way. And she's like, hey, Dax, my guy, my buddy. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? So, hypothetically, if I wanted to get in contact with the devil, what the fuck? No. Hypothetically, no. That's a bad idea.
Oh my god. You know, Dax even explains it to you, like, so he basically says, like, yeah, no, like, you know, devils are bad business, like, just, first of all, never do that. And so Juliet's like, okay, but what if I just, like, bring a devil here? Would that be fine? And then maybe I could, like, talk to it? Or actually, no, wait, I think, like, Dax explains first, like, to even, like, get into contact with the devil, like, if they don't want you to, you'd have to, like, get to hell or, like, some other, like, weird, horrible rituals in order to do so. And so, like, Juliet's like, okay, how can I get to hell then? Like, and Dax explains, like, well, you'd have to dive down into the abyssal strait. So if you're good, like, diving, like, 600 meters or so, Juliet's like, maybe not.
No.
Anything else I could possibly do then? As, Dax is like, yeah, no, not really. No, you need an insanely powerful spellcaster that even get you there if you didn't have the portal. And like, okay, so if I can't get there, can I bring the devils here? As Dax then explains, like, also no, you'd have to do a insanely powerful ritual with an insanely powerful summoner, and like, I think you even said like, oh, I know, someone who could possibly be a summoner. As Dax just like, wait, what the fuck, who?
Also, I would like to mention, like, before we go on to the next bit, Juliet is a celestial. Which is the exact fucking opposite of a fiend/devil.
Yes, Juliet should want no part of this whatsoever. Oh, man. Yeah.
So, I call Cass. I'm like, hey!
Actually, no, hold up. No, it's important to... So, yeah, Dax then also just straight up says, like, and even, like, if you, like, need to summon something, you, would need a sacrifice, and like you need to sacrifice someone's like soul in order to do so. As Juliet's like, oh, I think I can do that, but then Dax is like, wait, no, it's not like, it's not just like killing someone, it's like erasing them almost completely so badly, like people who are alive can barely even like remember them. It's horrible and like cruel, and like it reserved for like the worst kind of people, if you could possibly find someone that would possibly like be worthy of that sort of fate. As Juliet just kind of goes like, so Legion then maybe? As Dax says, okay, we'll see about that. But, on top of that too, even if you manage to summon like the devil, up here, like, you now, would need to exert a great amount of control to hold on to stop it from just like fucking out around you. Like, this isn't something that's just gonna put you in danger or like you and your party. It's something that could just like destroy fucking like half the continent if you do it badly. Like, this isn't just like the worst mistake that you can make. This is possibly one of the worst mistakes anyone could possibly make in possibly the history of this universe.
Yep.
Oh man.
Sounds like Juliet.
Yep. Oh yeah, and Dax also gave you one more bit of important information, as he also kind of says, like, also, I kind of, like, as I was, like, running by here, I saw, like, this weird, like, burning building, and I decided to investigate, and, like, there's just, like, a lot of people dead in there, and it looks like they're all, like, bandits and bounty hunters and whatnot. Like, did you guys have anything to do with that? Or, you know, like, what that might be about?
Nope.
As all of you guys just kind of look around, just like, no?
Not at all.
But then you talk to Cass, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So I call Cass because what's a powerful caster I know of in my lifetime? Hey, Cass! Oh, hi, Juliet! It's been a while! How are you? Hey, so, what do you know about devils? He's like, what?
Cass eye twitching.
He's like, bro, what the fuck? And she's like, yeah, I know. And he's like, holy shit, that is so bad. What do you mean? And so she explained, like, hey, so Boondock. And he's like, that is so bad. Please tell him under no circumstances should he say yes to anything at all from him. She's like, okay, alright. But hypothetically, if you could, like, summon one... No, alright, cool.
No.
So, originally, I was talking with Shivam about, like, hey, is there any way possible that Juliet could make a deal with the devil? And, like, try to help Boondock and, like... It wasn't as relevant now then as it is kind of now that she would want to do this, but, like, we kind of retcon it saying, like, she's a celestial, like, the exact fucking opposite of what... It's like angel versus devil. Like, there's no way she would want to be able to do something unless it has, like, extreme importance. So, like, we kind of retcon this, and, like, we can explain, like, in the next session, like, hey, sometimes players' ideas don't work, and you're gonna have to, like, rearrange some things about it, so that way both parties are happy. So, like, yeah. Communication is key, everyone.
Yeah. It was also one of those things, too, where I need to explain to you a couple of times, like, hey, this might, like, remove Juliet from the campaign permanently. Like, extremely bad consequences and shit. Are we sure about this one? But we eventually, kind of, like, talked you down a little bit.
Yeah. See, I got too, like, into the whole, like, oh my god, I could fuck everything up or I could make everything better. But communication is the key to fixing things, everyone.
Yeah. Oh, man. But we'll head out into the outro here. A shout out to our patron members, or Patreon members, Spicy Turntable, the Modgoth, and Nyquil Dreamer. You guys help us make more and better content, and if you guys want to join us on our Patreon, the link is in the description of this video. We're also going to have a previews of our Keepers of Order animatic. Which, it's all sketched out. We're starting to get some line art done. Look out for that. Izzy, you want to plug our Twitch?
So, every Tuesday, 2:30 CST, 3:30 EST, we start Twitch streaming our Illuna Nights campaign. If you look at Keeper of Kitsune on Twitch, and you can see Indigo's many fucking X's, because that's all I have for Indigo is a hoe with X's. Anyway, fun fact, Cass and Juliet have some guilty pleasure karaoke nights where Cass just sings dad rock songs and Juliet sings anime openings because she's a weeb.
Weeb!
PhoenixChat!
Yeah!
You fucker!